On my way to the Meadows, actually woke up a little bit early today. No, I didn't get underway early. Still went over to Starbucks. It says I'm getting there at 9:41, which is not accurate. I'll be there around 20 after 9, maybe 25 after 9. And I'm wondering, can I make a wrong turn? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Last night's races, this morning's qualifiers, things going on this week. I'm just trying to get my head around everything. I got my flight booked for next Monday to Oak Grove. Last night, I rushed all the way back. Get Tim's horse in the first race. Brooklyn Wolf should win. And I pick up Ron Burke's horse in the second race. He looks like he's got a shot too. Brooklyn Wolf, I have to blame myself. Now, I've chased him out of the gate a number of times since I've driven him. But I felt like maybe I caught him flat-footed last night. We were just getting away from the car, and he started back off the gate just there, and I hit him a swat, and when I did, he rolled off stride. So in watching the sequence of what took place leading up to the break, I gotta blame myself. As much as I don't think he should have made the break where he did, there was no two ways about it. When I hit him a swat over the tail with the whip, he immediately rolled into a break. So maybe I caught him flat-footed. I felt bad for Tim. He owns that horse too, and apologized. But looking back on it, aside from the times he's drawn the trailing post, and even when he's drawn the trailing post, I've revved him up pretty good at the gate, and he's never ever rolled off or faltered at all. So there's nothing else to really blame. I've watched it a couple of times. It definitely was the catalyst of what happened. I just can't really wrap my head around why. So he makes a break. I'm like, oh, it's going to be one of these nights, is it? Go out in the track with Ron Burke's horse. We're turning to go to the gate. Ronnie said, he's good. If you have him on his toes leaving, he's good. You just got to watch him in the turns. Okay. Now, it's funny. I'm obviously not a kid anymore. And there was a time where, I feel a sense of retribution when I'm driving a horse. I know that the 3 Horse is the one that Park Save America the whole way with the young man there the last time when I got in the argument after the race. But I didn't feel like I vengeful in any way. It is what it is. It's a horse race. I parked hundreds, probably thousands of people in my life. And a fraction of those have ended up in at least a verbal altercation. Never a physical one, but a verbal altercation for sure. This is racing. It happens. I don't hold any grudges. And I wasn't going to try and park that. Or somebody messaged me last night and said, you put that horse on the run trying to park Kurt. I was never going to park Kurt. Kurt was getting around me regardless. But I did want to scare the 2-hole. And I didn't want to get right down into the rail in case I had to check him and he made a break. I don't know the horse. I'm in the 2-wide path. I'm just kind of holding my position. He puts a step in. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm like, ooh, caught him. And then I just went to advance a little bit and he rolled off stride. So I start the early double with the favorite in both legs and put both of them on the run. Judges called down. I'm like, what did I do? Like, I put 2 horses on the run. What? They said, yeah, we were just checking there. We saw that your wife got her license. Maybe you want to see if she wants to drive the last few. That was a good one. You got me. That was good. I said, just got to qualify first. So it didn't start out as a great night. In fact, it was even to just rub salt in the wounds. I was in race I was in race 1, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I went all the way home. Threw my laundry from the weekend in the washing machine. Laid down for a minute. Because it was a long day. I'm tired. Set my alarm just in case. And got back up and went back to the track. Now, Blue Ventura, aside from that one start where I stretched him out of the 8-hole and he raced poorly, he's raced pretty consistently well all summer long. Put up good numbers. I think he's one of these horses too, when he's a little hot and he's a little grabby, that's when he's at his best. Last night he was very polite in the post grade, to the point where before the gate started moving, I'm walking him around, I'm like, geez, this horse really turned into a nice horse to be around. Because before he could test you, big, strong horse, big, long wooden head on him, pull and lug, put you in trouble, get himself in trouble. And now he's just turned into this versatile horse. So I'm looking at going out. I know the one horse, the blue chip horse, doesn't generally leave, but I watched him in the score down and he looked good. But I know he doesn't leave. I'm going to follow Ronnie out. His horse is trying to make a break behind the gate and he's got go straights on. That's a hard no. 2 horse can't leave. 4 horses got like a shady daisy and stuff all over its face. This isn't a good lineup to follow. I'm just going to follow a 5 out. I know he can leave. I just let him roll out behind the 5. Now I get stretched the quarter 27-1, but I thought it was a pretty nifty move, to be honest. Pretty proud of myself at the quarter pole. I went from 9-hole behind a bunch of horses that are all out of gear and looking like they can't leave and get rough to sitting in the 2-hole. But he faltered. He fizzled out. And I can say, did I race him hard at the start and take away at the end? A little bit, but he's learned now. I just don't think he was good last night. What I took as him being very polite may have actually been him being under the weather, because he was not sharp last night. And I told Jason Plum, I said, this horse flat as a pancake tonight. I said, whatever. It's just a rare bad race. And I was talking to one of our partners on Blue Ventura after, and he thought he raced good. I said, actually, he raced poorly. But looking back on his entire 2025 on the track, the horse has been fairly consistently well in this class. He's raced consistently well in this class. So we'll give him a mulligan. Maybe tied up this week. Maybe he's a little bit sick. Remember I told you the other day, it was really weird that Degas was the only sick horse in the barn. Maybe she wasn't. I looked at his nose after. There was no mucus or anything in his nose. No coughing, no signs of distress after the race. He just wasn't good. But as I said, for a horse that, truthfully speaking, I was hard on him to start the year because I was a little frustrated that he was as shallow as he was. But he's turned into a pretty consistent horse. So as I said, we'll give him a mulligan for last night. And maybe, exposing him off the car like that did play a role. Maybe that was a component of it. I just didn't want to get away 6th. That's all. Anyway, I didn't know what to think when I went out with Admiral Dio. Admiral Dio's kind of grown on me a little bit. He's not a great horse, but he could be a much better horse. He is a gross underachiever, but a consistently gross underachiever. Meaning, I almost know what he'll do every week. And I told you guys, he can do in this class. But he tests you. He can't leave that much. So he almost has to have somebody let you go. Last night, Braden was letting me go, and I got down in front of him. The judges called, there's an inquiry up, the lights flashing. I get down in front of him. If anything, he might have run up on my back. But I don't think I clipped him with my wheel. It was my take anyway. And as I'm watching the video, I'm talking to the judges and I'm watching the video, you can see Braden's horse's shoe come off. Before any of this happened, maybe 3 lengths, 3 strides before it happens, 3 lengths before it happens, you can see his front shoe come off. So I said, well, guys, horse is already loose in equipment. So his front shoe come off. I can't see in this video that you're showing me, unless you have a different view, I can't see where my wheel hit him. And if there was any contact at all, it was from him running into the back of me. Now, I like Braden. I think he's a good kid. But if I did interfere with him, I apologize. That was not my position. But I will say this. if he was trying to park me with his front feet, that's never a good position to put yourself in. If you're going to park something, you just park them. The way it is, racing. Not the end of the world. I've done it a million times. But you don't leave people out with your front feet. I said to Billy Davis a long time ago, it might have been Scott too. Got tight in the turn there. It's a very similar way, maybe. The guy was angry after, and I said, sir, it doesn't have hair on it. It shouldn't be there. Your front feet, you shouldn't be there. Step up and park somebody, or don't. But don't expect to leave a sliver of your feet there and then not get pinched. But looking back at the whole thing, I watched the same video the judges did. When you slow it down frame by frame by frame the way that they did, you can't see any contact. You can't see that shoe come off. I had nothing to do with me. But you can't see contact. So, if they had to set me back, whatever. It's racing. But as I said to them, and I assume that the decision they arrived at was the simple fact that you could not see. Frame by frame, you could not see interference. You see where there could be interference, but you couldn't actually see interference. The way it is. But as I said, he's a young kid, that kid, and I like him. He's a likable kid. It's Billy's son, and every so often you run into young people in this industry, and I think he's one of those kids that down the road will probably have a decent driving career, maybe a very good driving career. But you got to understand where you're at in the track and what position you're putting yourself and other people in. So Admiral Dio races well, finishes second in 55, I think, and actually, let's be fair, parked to the quarter, could have been third, and kind of half-ass fought on down the lane to be second. Another horse, not a killer. Bit of a poser. But did his work well. Parked the quarter, hung on, come back on. I thought he battled back on to be second. And raced well, 55. So good job by him, and a good job by his caretakers. So today, I'm off to the meadows. I'm so glad I woke up now. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen this way, but I woke up this morning and the weather has changed now. The rain may miss us. We might catch the tail end of it. I don't know. And it looked like it was going to miss us the other night, and it did not. So I think it's one of those things where it's so weird. I heard Aaron say this the other day. Where the meadows is, it's almost like these weather patterns split sometimes, and you're right in the middle. I heard him say that, and a week later it happened. I'm watching the radar, and it's literally storms on either side of the meadows. It's the weirdest thing. So I'm hopeful that maybe we miss one or two of those cells today, but it is supposed to start raining, and then let me see what we got here. We have in New York, he's my first warm-up at 9:30. Tim has me slated to warm up at 9:30 with him. Then I go with a couple of Tims. Royal Flush Dio. We got just a hair of a conflict here. Not really. If I don't know by 11:10 that... so here's the thing. I believe there's... No, it's a 2-year-old filly trot. Never mind. I was trying to think of what horse it could be. Tomboy Strong was the one we were talking about. Royal Flush Deal. The Colts did not go on Thursday, so I apologize. I'm talking out loud a little bit. The 2-year-old trot colt maiden trot was written for Thursday at Scioto. It didn't fill, and I don't think it's carried over. I'll double check this morning with the race secretary. The 2-year-old filly trot is written for Friday. I've already told Jason, don't list me. I was listed yesterday at Scioto. I forgot they start at 4, not 6. I said, don't list me on the horses Friday. Just put King Kaufman on the horses Thursday. I got to go to the Meadows. We have a number of horses entered for the Meadows, and 2-year-olds also entered for the Meadows on Friday. So I won't be going to Scioto Downs on Friday. But I told them, if the race office thinks that the 2-year-old trot is going to go, now when does Tomboy Strong go? Tomboy Strong is, well, we're getting late enough now. 11:50 is her post time. She'll be warmed up, which could be her training trip for this week. So although it's a little unorthodox, it will fit in The race office opens at 12, I think, and the box closes at 2. I would like to ask the race office what if they have like 7 2-year-olds entered. Well, by all means, scratch Tomboy Strong out of the qualifiers here and enters Tomboy Strong at Scioto on Friday. She's a sweetheart anyway. Anybody can drive her. I think that's the very best way to go about that. So we'll see how that plays out. So getting back to what I was saying, Royal Flush Deo is in the 5th race. This is one of Tim's also. Don't Ask Again, race 7. I'm telling you these because there are a couple of scratches, and I'll tell you why. Perfect Thought is going today also. Tomboy Strong, as of right now, is going. But as I said, that 11:50 time frame, I'm going to reach out to the race office and see, hey, is that 2-year-old filly trot going to go? I told Jason to, but 2 heads are better than 1 sometimes. I want to see if she's going to be needed. If she is, go ahead. If she's not, that's fine too. Now, Millie Girl, white count was almost 11 yesterday. That's not crazy high, but it is more than high enough to keep her out of an event. Well, I'll tell you what. If we had got this blood work back and it was a stake race today, she likely wouldn't have went. So she's definitely not going for a qualifier. She has been treated. The extra day will help. We'll probably train her a mile Wednesday or Thursday in the race bike, and she'll come back to qualify next Tuesday. She will qualify. Sweet Lake is going to qualify today. Go Strong Hanover with the hobbles on, with the shoeing change. He's going to go today. One of Tim's Degas. Very important this filly qualifies today. A couple of horses, very important they qualify today. Love Sensation and Degas need to qualify today to race next Monday at Oak Grove. So they need to qualify. So Degas will qualify. Diosa Della Donza scratched today. Why? Because she is in on Thursday. She's in race 1. Now, you guys know when it comes to summer, I'm always trying to do stuff with my family and race horses. I'm leaving after race 1 on Thursday. I told them I'll stay for my filly, and then I'm leaving. Ava asked me weeks ago. She did a project in the Revolutionary War this year, and saw that Hamilton, the play, was playing, and wanted to go. Now she goes to camp this weekend for a week, and we looked at all the dates. Thursday's the only date she can go. So I didn't want to be late for it at all. So what I did was I booked off and simply told the judges I'm going to Hamilton with my daughter on Thursday. I haven't been to a play in a long time, but I don't mind it. So I'm happy to go see Hamilton. I left myself kind of short on Wednesday, but I wanted to drive Melisandre. She's 6-5 in the last race. It'll go late, and then I got to get my butt moving to get to the music concert that I told Ava and Addie and Amy that we would go to. Mumford & Sons is playing just down the road from our house. Big music complex center, festival, whatever. So a couple of things for the family to do this week, and I wanted to make sure that I can maneuver myself around them. Wednesday, we're going to be tight to make the first act, which is fine. But Thursday, I want to make sure that I have lots of time. Amy, Ollie, and Addie are going back to Ontario for Thursday, Friday. Oliver plays ball Thursday, Friday there. He's got a busy week this week also. Thursday, Friday, he plays in Ontario. Saturday, Sunday, he plays in Ohio. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, he plays in Ohio. And then we have the open house on Sunday. Sunday afternoon, Oliver plays baseball. Ava goes to camp for a week. And then I have to get up early Monday morning as I am heading to Oak Grove to race. So there's just a start of our summer, but a week dialed in. We're trying to do it week by week, and this week we have everything planned. So back to the qualifiers today. Diosa Della Donza is in race 1 on Thursday at the Meadows. She is scratched out of today's qualifiers. Captain Doolittle will be going. Leland Hanover, although I'm not expecting a ton from him today, I am keeping my eye very, very close on him. Love Sensation and Xena Kemp are only conflict of the day. They got in together. Now, Xena's already qualified. Even if she makes a break today, she can race next Monday at Oak Grove, and I don't expect her to make a break, but I don't everybody being concerned. I think Brady Brown will be a good fit for Zena Kemp. Obviously, I want to keep a very close eye on Love Sensation. I'm going to go with Love Sensation this morning. And then the next two are not ours. 19 qualifiers. Wow. 19 qualifiers today. So a busy day today. It'll be a busy day again on Sunday. I'm working through the sets for Sunday. Now Sunday's a little different because the Pacers, we only have 3 Pacers to qualify, I believe, on Sunday. But we'll have other people that'll be entering their horses. It is a qualifying day, a 2-year-old qualifying day, I believe. So I'm assuming and hopeful there'll be a pace. The big news, aside from the open house, how much fun it'll be. You guys should all come out down to the barn, look at the horses. Aside from all that, Amy McDonald now has her driver's license. She just took it upon herself. She wrote the test, went back to Ontario, wrote the test, and she was so nervous going a rated mile yesterday, but rated the mile perfectly. It was spot on where she was supposed to be. JK Victory took good care of her yesterday also, and she is now a driver. Now she has to have qualifying drives, but the judges have allowed her to take her qualifying drives in Ohio, so she will be behind a number of horses on Sunday morning, which will be some added excitement and definitely something very special for our family. So not just the McDonald family, but the TheStable family. Now, Amy's not looking to take my job, but I hope not anyway. But she is going to look to qualify some of the babies, maybe make an amateur race. I never talked to her about it, but you know, that female amateur race on Delaware Jug Week is super exciting. Lauren is in it every year. It is a lot of fun, and I think that Amy will like it. So really happy for her, because this is something I know, you know, I put it in the Facebook post. Everybody out there watches races, wonders what it's like to drive in one, what it's like, what the feeling's like to be in one or win one, and not everybody takes it to that next level, and Amy certainly did. So proud of her and excited for her, and I can't wait for her to do some qualifying on Sunday. Anyway, a bit of a ho-hum start to the week. I forgot about Gaslight Hall too. I guess a very similar trip to Blue Ventura, right? The mile wasn't bad. When you look at his line, 54 and a piece, like 29 seconds on the end of it. Whoa, get here around this guy. That is a short merge lane. So Gaslight Hall, the mile was okay, but where Jody put him, perfect spot. Second over behind the eventual winner, a horse that he finished second to in the gold, and a horse that bled in that race. So we come back, put him on Lasix, and went and raced him last night, and he seemed flat to me. A little bit flat. Now, you got to be careful. You can't just, Gaslight Hall, you know, he has his shortcomings. You can't just go and blast Gaslight Hall, right? His knees bother him. Again, he's a horse just going on Lasix. So I'll forgive last night's trip, but we have the gold coming up next week. And for him to continue to be a gold horse, he's going to have to prove that he can be. And I expect a lot more from this horse next week. And if we don't, then you're going to see him slide into the grassroots program. But Gaslight Hall, it was a bit of a flat mile last night. But again, all things considered, the missed week, the first start on Lasix, will give him a mulligan for last night also. So that is where we're at for the horses right now. We have a million qualifiers this morning. We have a ton of qualifiers this morning. We have, just trying to think, I brought my driving suit, but realized now that I needed my training suit today, but I believe it's in the back also. So a million qualifiers today. We have horses racing tomorrow at the Meadows. I believe tomorrow night at Northfield. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Definitely Thursday, Diosa della Danza. Friday, we should be in it. We're at Scioto also. Aunt Lily, Oh Hill No, Freedom Hill. Friday will be Foxy Seaside, Gorgeous Package. We'll have a ton of horses here at the Meadows also on Friday night. Ollie has baseball all week. the most exciting thing for me, taking my daughter. Ava's, I tell you guys all the time, Addie's a little young, but both her and Ollie didn't really love to sit at the movies. Like if you go to Transformers or something, Ollie would like it. You know, if you go to a movie that Addie wants to see, she'll like it and watch it. But Ava, since she was a little girl, and this is how I would, like, I went to every movie. I told you guys this, I could. And Ava, since she was just a little girl, would sit there and watch the movies intently and understand them at a very young age. It was different in that regard than the other two, and she so wanted to go to Hamilton, and I told her, yes, absolutely, I'll take you to Hamilton. So that's where we're going to be, off to Hamilton on Thursday evening. It should be a fun week, not just for me, not just for my family, but for you as well. A big week ahead. The Kentucky Sire Stakes start on Monday. The Ohio Sire Stakes start shortly thereafter. We have the Next Generation coming up. We have the Tompkin Gears on the 26th coming up this week also. Next week, sorry. It should be a tremendous start to our summer. And these are the days that get it all rolling, right? We are 21 for 21 so far. All 21 have been qualified. I can't think that they'll all continue to go like that. But you know what? We'll take it as it comes. So take care. Have a great start to your week. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you all very soon.